So this book, Deepak Chopra's Living in the Light, your 90th book. Oh my goodness. I was reading about your first book recently, the one that you self-published for $5,000.
That's right.
Can you just give us like 60 seconds on that book and why it was so pivotal in your life?
I tried to publish that book through a regular publisher and no one accepted it. So I read an ad in the New York Times and I wrote it. It was Creating Health, the Mind-Body Connection. I think it was the first book of its type.
You wrote it, and then the book did you this massive favour because this female student took some copies and put them in the student bookshop, and then somebody bought a copy.
Yeah, a young boy bought it for his mother. She was an agent. She called me and she said, "Why don't you have a regular publisher?" I said, "Because I tried." She said, "How much did you pay for it?" I said, $5,000. She said, "I'll give you the $5,000. I'll get you a regular publisher." Houghton Mifflin, big publisher. Next thing, it's a bestseller. I'm getting calls from Jackie Onassis and other people to join other publishing houses as an author.
So you wanted to get this different way of thinking out there, this different message, this alternative, the optional way of thinking, if you like. You didn't force it on anyone. And so from trying and struggling to get it out there, suddenly you were given sort of one of the loudest hailers in the publishing land, you know, as a New York Times best-selling author. How quickly did your life change? How did it change? What effect did that have on you? How much did you have to sort of step back and reflect on what was going on so you could remain present?
Well, you know, I was a neuroendocrinologist. I just finished my training and I was looking at the molecules of emotion. So this was a breakthrough that, every emotion that you have has a biological effect. Now we have a science. It's called epigenetics. Every experience actually turns your genes on and off depending on how you're feeling. It's not just the genes. You have 25,000 genes that you got from your parents. You have 2 million genes which are bacterial. But their activity is determined by the experience you're having. So right now, the genes in your frontal cortex are going on because we're having this conversation. But those who are listening to us, their genes are also being turned on and off in their brain. This is remarkable because this shows that information is very much part of our biological processes. If you tell somebody they have cancer, they immediately go into panic, their body gets inflamed. The next moment you tell them, no, it was the wrong diagnosis, immediately they change. So every experience, doesn't matter what it is, perception, sound, touch, sight, taste, smell, thinking, eating, breathing, digestion, metabolism, elimination, thoughts, feelings, emotions, desires, aspirations, memories, they're all turning your biology on and off instantly.
And you talk about the fact that the 25,000 genes we get from our mum and dad, that the cards were dealt. But that it's about what we do with those cards, and these 2 million other genes in, the microbiome are there. They're our army, and we can corral and muster them as we wish. And if we have the better plan we have, the better work they'll do on our behalf. It's also fascinating.
It is fascinating.